Someone shot an eagle. The eagle's not flying anymore.
You're not flying, man. Speaking of hanging up, let's have our OC hanging up. Jesus
I've actually
Lord.
wanted to talk about that division to you, especially Nick, because the Cowboys, their next 4 games are huge for them for that
Yeah.
division. I understand the Eagles are playing honestly straight bums the next 4 games. Hopefully the
Play the Bills.
Bills have been absolutely fraudulent. So.
They're
We
not
talked about
a
the
straight
Bills being one of the
bum
best
team,
teams in the other conference.
They're not
Is
a
it
straight
in
bum
Buffalo?
team.
If it's in Buffalo, what is it, in December? That could be. Yeah, it's in Buffalo.
28.
So
Okay.
bumping. Let's not call that an easy game, especially because we suck.
Well, then that.
But the other
and
two
then
games are against the Commanders and the
I know.
Raiders. Even more.
I think the Commanders could run away with one. I think you'd be surprised.
I
Marcus
also agree with that.
Mariota
I also agree
has
with that.
been honestly really good, Marcus Mariota.
Okay. If the Eagles lose 2 games, all of a sudden the Cowboys win the division. If
No,
the
because the
win out.
Cowboys have a rough
The
next 2
Cowboys
games
win.
as well. They play the Vikings this week.
The Vikings is not a rough. I
The
think
Vikings
our
have a
rough
great
game is against the
defense.
Chargers.
They should beat the Vikings.
Our
Especially
rough
down
game
to that home
is
team.
And then
definitely
they
against
play
the
the Chargers.
Chargers. I think the Chargers is the roughest game out of the 4.
It really
is it?
honestly.
And then afterwards, you have a
Vikings
bunch
this
of shooters,
weekend.
too.
Chargers after that, and then the Giants. There's one more team I can't
You're in
remember.
DC and
Commanders
then in New York.
as well.
Your schedule
Commanders-
isn't much harder than ours. It's not much harder than ours.
I think the Cowboys could win out. I really do. If they do, and the Eagles win 2 games, now we have a situation where the Cowboys win the NFC East, which 5 weeks ago I would have thought would have never happened. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen because I don't think that the Eagles are going to lose 2 games. I think the biggest possibility of them losing 2 games is the Commanders stealing 1 and then them losing to Buffalo. But all the Eagles have to do is win 3 games and then they win the division. So
I just
they really need to
realized
lock
this.
in.
The Cowboys' 2 hardest games the rest of the year are they're both home, luckily. So that is a big advantage for Dak.
Y'all could have a chance to win it all.
There's definitely a
Win
chance.
out the
I just-
games.
But the question is, 3 weeks ago we would have never even thought that it would have been possible for the Cowboys to win the division because the Eagles were on a tear. What happened? Lauren, I want to ask you. You're wearing an Eagles beanie right now. I think I can't. Yeah, you are. I want to ask you, Mr. Fly Eagles Fly. What happened?
Nothing actually has happened in the last few weeks. Everything has been the exact same for the most part. Our offensive coordinator, Mr. Kevin Patullo, he just sucks ass, and he did since week 1. And that hasn't changed. We just got lucky enough to win a few games because our roster is cracked and because we have a bunch of really good players. All Eagles fans know for the most part this is not Jalen Hurts hasn't played great. There's no doubt about that. He definitely play better. But it's not really his fault. It's completely on the OC. We can't run a fucking crow out every goddamn play and then also do like empty backfield when it would greatly benefit us at times to not do that. Also, it's really hard to get your quarterback in rhythm when there's no rhythm. So let's call some goddamn plays. Let's get like an actual guy that knows football. Kerry, you're laughing. I don't know if you're like, do you have a job right now, Kerry? Because if not, we'd love to hire you as OC. I believe last time I heard Nick's not currently working. Nick, if you'd love, we'd fly you over to Philadelphia. Even like I know you're a Cowboys fan, you might sabotage us, but you probably can still do better than Kevin.
Marvin, come on, you hop in there. You be the OC.
I'll be the OC. I'd be happy to do that. Lauren, I'm curious what your reaction to this. I heard Colin Cowherd say Jalen Hurts, they should move on from Jalen Hurts because he's the problem. How do you feel about
Yeah.
this?
I just completely answered that. I mean, I'm completely biased and absolutely love Jalen Hurts, but I also want the Eagles to win. And, I mean, it's just – there's, like, literally we've seen Jalen Hurts just, in the Super Bowl? Didn't we just see him have, like, an insanely good game where he just dissected
5
the defense
turnovers.
and he made every throw
5 turnovers,
possible?
that was crazy.
I mean, we've seen him play like one of the – he's been playing horrible lately, but again – and we talked about this earlier with coaching in general. It's all system. I mean, if we've all played football. If you play and you're not calling your own plays, and let's say hypothetically your receivers suck, which is not the case here. But my point is rhythm. If you're getting horrible plays called for you, if it's not your strength, right? Jalen Hurts isn't God. He's not the best quarterback.
I was just
in the
about to
league.
say that.
It's all about rhythm. It's all about using your weapons properly. It's about letting your player, right? It's like in Madden, getting his boost, his power ups. We're doing the opposite. He's getting -6 every game because of Kevin Patullo.
And he's barely
And
running
it
the
also
ball.
has a negative psychological effect on you every single game. Now you're making bad reads, or you haven't seen this read all day. Now it's finally open, but you're not used to making that throw because you haven't been able to do it. You might be off
And
on it now.
They're
what-
being
what-
way too predictable. The defense
Yeah.
knows what to do.
I want to say this though. I've only watched 3 Eagles games start to finish this year, and that's the 2 games against the Cowboys, and then I unfortunately watched their performance against the Bears. I feel like they're not. You guys have a stacked offense. You have AJ Brown, whose size is insane for a receiver. That's always been one of his biggest strengths. Devontae Smith, so fast, so shifty. Saquon Barkley, debatably one of the best running backs in football. And then you have a dual threat quarterback that can make big plays when he needs to. But he can also take off. I feel like you guys aren't playing to your strengths at all.
Yes.
At all.
Bingo.
You guys have these checkdowns to Saquon Barkley, and at this point, because Saquon's such a threat, he's going to have someone on him. So he's not being left wide open, and then you call that 3 plays in a row, and then you're 3 and out, and then what the fuck? Like, against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, not on Thanksgiving, sorry, the week before Thanksgiving, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, y'all completely disappeared in the second half.
Yeah.
Completely.
Guys, hold on. I can only do 30 seconds more of this. My therapist told me I have a 5-minute timer on Eagles talk right now.
But like the first half, you guys were on a tear, 21-0. I thought, fuck, another one of the. It's going to be a long day. You guys are ripping into me in the group chat. I was down in the depths, right?
Well,
And then
you
all of a
said,
sudden-
hey, you said, guys, I know it doesn't really matter. We're gonna lose anyway.
Yeah.
We came back, and I don't know how you were feeling in this moment, Lauren. I wasn't with you. I was texting you. You weren't responding. That's all I know. I don't know how you were feeling. 24 point comeback, technically. 24 unanswered points. I just don't understand how your offense can just completely just disappear for an entire half of football at a time.
Not even a field goal.
Not even a field goal.
And you have Jake Elliott, who's a great kicker. It's not like you have a terrible kicker who can only hit 35 yarders. I mean, Jake Elliott can hit 50 and plus.
Coming
We have
into this year,
like you said, we have a quarterback that going into the season, at the very least, most people have him in the top 5. I know most people have changed their minds since then, but most people have him in their top 7. All right, if not top 5. We have one of the best, at least top 3 receiving core in the entire league. We have a fantastic tight end, great offensive line. And that's just on the offensive side. And to your point, we didn't score after, what, 8
Defense
minutes
is even
left? At 8
crazier.
minutes in the second quarter. We didn't score, including field goals. So that's Kevin Petula's job, actually, is to make sure that all those pieces mesh. That's kind of what coaching is for. Make sure they mesh and make sure they're performing.
No, Kevin's just
that's
there
not
for the
happening.
money, I think.
I think whenever you guys have momentum, you guys are unstoppable. But as soon as there's any sort of like hint of like loss of momentum, then your OC starts pissing down his leg, doesn't know what to call, so he just calls the same fucking play 3 plays in a row, and then you're 4 and out for the rest of the game. And it's like, that does not fly, no pun intended, in the playoffs.
Weird.
It doesn't.
I think also something that we have to realize, Jalen Hurts is not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I only think there's 3 great quarterbacks in the league, and I don't think that's a question. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen.
Lamar? No?
Whew,
No Lamar?
I don't want to show.
Aaron Rodgers, baby.
I don't want to
Aaron
show my
Rod,
Cowboys
baby.
bias. I don't want to show my Cowboys bias, but Dak Prescott is having one of the best seasons he's had in his entire career.
Nick,
And
He's
Nick,
good. He's
Nick,
not great.
he just left out Lamar, and you're talking about Dak?
I'm just talking about this year. Lamar
Drake May.
has been injured for half the
Lamar's
year.
been shit this
Right
year.
now,
Lamar
this
has been
year,
shit this year.
Dak Prescott is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league. This year, one of the best quarterbacks in the league this
Yeah,
year.
sure,
Sure,
I'm
sure,
talking
but-
about great.
He's talking about like.
I'm not talking about great. I said best. I switched it. I didn't
We're
mean
not
to say
talking
great.
about like specific performance right now.
Dak
Overall,
Prescott is a
elite
good quarterback, and I'll give it
on
to
any
him.
team.
But I'm just saying, I only think there's 3 great quarterbacks, and I just think sometimes we have too high of a bar for Jalen Hurts. I mean, if you watch the Chargers game, Chargers defense played great. They made some impressive plays. That game-winning interception, that was really impressive. I mean, the dive on both guys. The dude that tipped it, he was diving, and then we saw a one-handed interception across his body. That was super impressive. And then we saw fumbles. I mean, one of them was on Jalen Hurts' fault, which was unfortunate. But like we saw a couple throws, hard catch for AJ Brown, but it hit both his hands. He should have caught the ball, and he didn't. So like I think sometimes we discredit the quarterback too much, and you have to watch the full tape and see what's really happening. And I think that's
Yeah.
what's a lot been happening this year to Patrick Mahomes. Everyone's like, this guy sucks. Go watch the tape. He's doing great.
I think he's still favored for MVP, actually, at least top 2 or top 3.
Really.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, yeah, casual fans, you're 100% right. I mean, quarterback gets all the love and all the hate. If they win, quarterback, it's all the quarterback, which is also
It's all
not
on the
true.
quarterback.
If they lose, all the quarterback, which is also not true.
Lauren, what do you think about Sirianni?
So I think Sirianni is I think he's a good head coach. I don't think he would be a good play caller. Good thing that's not what he does, even though he's probably better than Kevin Patullo. He's there for the culture. He's there for oversight. He's there for management, like as a head coach, and I think he's good for that. But right now he clearly made a bad hire, so he better turn that around with our OC. That's horrible, and I'm also a little bit worried. We luckily kept Vic Fangio, our DC, but our defense actually has been horrible too as of late. And at this point, it could all just be snowball effect, right? The worse offense is, the more 3-and-outs that we have, which we've been tending to get, the more the defense on the field, the more wear and tear we have. And we did have a decline from last year. But it's all worrisome right now because our defense hasn't been great either. That Bears game, you said you watched it, was not one that was fun for an Eagles fan to watch. Because they ran for a first down pretty much every time they ran the ball. They just ran
Both
for a
guys
first down.
had
Dude,
almost 100.
Didn't Swift and Monongai run for like 130 rushing yards, like both of them combined?
No.
Some
No,
crazy.
They ran for almost
Probably
300 rushing yards.
Dude, that's insane.